All right, so we're recording. So, hello and welcome to another video here at Movie Mash. And today we've got D&J movie reviews of us, and we have Justin and Darrell. Now, this one here on my right, Justin, and that one down there is Darrell. Right now,
That one
where
down
can we
there.
find you? Where can we find you on YouTube? What
Yep.
tell us about you? What it's about? Tell me something good.
Find us on YouTube, D&J Movie Reviews.
And that's it, because that's all they have. Anyway, all right. So
And
before I carry on, hit the subscribe button down there if you want. If you don't want to, don't worry, but still enjoy the video. Still give us a watch. I was going to say is right. So just in case you didn't read the any what was it? I'm going to have it on the thumbnail. This is a spoiler. This is spoilers. We're going to talk about spoilers. What happened in the movie?
Oh yeah.
If you want to see our other reviews, check out our channels because we've got reviews on both. Non-spoiler talking about the film story, but this is going to go into a bit more into detail about stuff. And if you don't want to know, shame on you if you're still here. Right, guys, what did you think of the movie?
The movie was epic. The movie was epic.
Right.
The action, like honestly, it told a deeper story. It really did. It told a deeper story about Adonis and his friend Damien, about who they was both kids, grew up in in the rough part of they was in some trouble as kids in the south central part of LA or something like that.
Compton.
And basically it just showed that when he came back, that he basically Adonis was a big time heavyweight champion of the world, and pretty much Damien was wanting what he had. So it's kind of like he was jealous a little bit because he was wanting a title shot. But honestly, the way that they incorporated the story, it was good. It was phenomenal. The acting in this movie was great. There's nothing I can say about that. The acting in this movie was great.
All right,
it was great.
Darrell, what did you think?
I thought the movie was good also. I thought it was great. I mean, again, you got two best friends, doing what they were supposed to be doing, protecting each other, and shit popped off. And, one person went one way, the other person went another. So, I mean, Creed, Adonis, did what he was supposed to do. He got, he got in the box and the other one was in jail. Then now, your best friend comes out of jail. He wants everything that you got. And that's how it goes.
Yeah.
Somebody gets jealous. They want what you have. They are trying to do whatever they can do to actually make you maggot under your belt and actually try to take what you got.
Mm-hmm. Well, you two are pretty much very good friends, right?
Yeah.
And when you was young and Darrell went to prison, Darrell, when you come out, you want everything Justin have. You want to say, right, I want that T-shirt, I want that channel, I want that beard and those glasses. Is that how you'd be? Is that what you would do? No.
I mean,
I'm just trying to.
He's thinking about it. All right. Listen, just want to ask you a question. Right. Which of the three movies would you say is the best? So of the three, basically, which did you say is the best?
One.
All right. Where would you rank this in the three?
Second.
Right. Second. Yeah.
Right. Second. Yeah. Same as you, Justin. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll rank it second.
I mean, why? What makes it better than the second for you? Is there anything?
I'm gonna be honest with you. Let me back up for a minute. Honestly, and I'm gonna tell you the reason why. And Derek, I respect your opinion, but honestly, I feel like I've been reading a lot of comments on Facebook. A lot of people say that the reason why they feel how can you do a movie that's basically not mentioned about Rocky? And pretty much Rocky was mentioned twice in this movie, and pretty much Michael B. Jordan was paying homage to Sylvester Stallone's character. And honestly, and I'll tell people out there, people that are tuning in and watching, the reason why Sylvester Stallone was not in this movie because there was an issue between him and a writer. And that's the reason why Sylvester Stallone said he did not want to be a part of this project. And there was another reason that Sylvester Stallone in the second movie, after they got done wrapping up the second movie, he passed the baton to Michael B. Jordan, which hint Now I don't know what was going through, Sylvester Stallone's mind. I have, the uttermost respect for Sylvester Stallone, but a lot of people said that I feel like it was disrespectful because Rocky wasn't mentioned this movie, and he was. And I feel like Michael B. Jordan was definitely trying to pay like respect to Rocky. Because think about it, this movie takes place in LA. So why would you need Rocky out in LA for anyway? I know that he's been in his corner for the past 2 movies, but the thing is though, Adonis has a lot. He has a lot in the story in this third, like he has a lot of personal stuff in this third film that pretty much I can kind of accept that, okay, Rocky's not in this, but also I did feel like a couple scenes that he was, like his presence was felt, if that makes sense. That's all I'm going to say.
Have you anything to add to that, Darrell?
I agree with everything that he actually said, because I mean, it's just, Rocky was mentioned in the movie, and Rocky, again, he said he did pass the torch to Michael B. They're like, hey, take over it. I mean, I think they should have put him in just a brief second or some just to show him, but you didn't see nothing about Rocky in this one besides they just talking about him.
Well, I can tell you what Stallone is upset about. I want to go into it too much because I want to talk about the movie. But all right, so this is what Stallone's problem was: is when they were doing the new Creed 3,
right?
He wasn't asked about it. He wasn't brought up. He wasn't asked. Nothing. Wow. And the way he looked at it was that he created Rocky. Even though he doesn't own it, MGM owns the rights. He created Rocky. He's friends with Michael B. Jordan, and all of a sudden they're making a Creed 3. And he not only was he not in it, but he wasn't even mentioned to him that we're going ahead, by the way, without you, or do you mind, or we're just going to go in a different direction. Nothing. And he was upset about that. He was pissed off. He's like, I created this franchise, and second of all, I wasn't in Creed 2. I didn't like his story arc at the end. Meeting his grandchild, was it, for the first time? Right. Yeah. What you've seen all the Rockies, right? He is the nicest man in the world. In what world would anyone not let him see his own grandchild? What was going on there, right? I mean, that just I just didn't like the way it ended. Now, I'm going to say this part 3 was the least favorite for me, and I was expecting it to be better than 2 because I actually thought 2 was good, but not great. I was against him fighting Drago in the first place. I was like, no, but all right. It was good, just wasn't great. I was expecting this to be better. And some parts was really good. Actually, this was a good movie. And so if it sounds like I don't like it, I did. I just think this was the weakest 3. There was a few things that happened on this that I didn't like at all. And it wasn't to do with Rocky being in it or not. Because I felt like it didn't feel like the other 2 movies. It felt more flashier. Now he's a new director. He's doing it differently. It didn't feel like that, but that again wasn't the issue for me. Right. So Damien, Jonathan Majors. He is amazing. Yes. I mean, first of all, he looked like he could take on Mr. T for sure. Do you know what I mean? Right. He's bigger than Michael Jordan. He's big. He looked like he can fight, and at the start of the film, they made he can fight, right? When he come out of prison, he was was he away for like 18 to 20 years or something?
18 years. 18 years.
Right. So the way I look at it is, he come out, he has a lot of anger, a lot of hate, a lot of problems. Yeah. And you, as a man or a woman, can get behind him or hate him for it. But you understand him. You're like, right, he's getting old. He lost his chance. He was a top fighter. He could have been a contender. Now he's got a chance. When you see that he can fight, he's really adamant. Why did he have to show us him fighting dirty? Didn't have to show that. Like he was doing dirty moves and all that, and he was elbowing.
In the first in the movie, he was fighting dirty a little bit.
I don't remember I don't remember the start of the movie where he was fighting dirty. I just know that he won. Yeah,
I mean, he wasn't fighting dirty in the first of the movie. It's just
what my point is when he fought in the ring for that first guy, that Mexican dude. Do you remember? Mm-hmm. He was throwing punches. He was doing into the arm. He was elbowing. That fight would have been stopped because of the way boxing
that would
is.
have been stopped quick.
Yeah.
But it kept showing that, look, it's like the film was trying to say, look, no, he's really bad. He's really bad. You know, we want to hate him. And I was like, no, because we already know he's got so many reasons to be angry. But if you make him just a good boxer, that Michael B. Jordan or Creed has to fight because this guy is good, strong, and he has a lot to lose and a lot to win. Yeah, that would have been fine. Didn't like that. Sorry?
You know what that's a nod to?
What's that?
You talking about him fighting dirty? That's a nod to Rocky V.
What, with who?
Tommy Gunn? You don't remember that?
Yeah, I remember it really well.
Remember in the gym when he was in there trying to box and all stuff? He was like, yo, Rocky, give me, he said, I want a title and all stuff.
But he didn't fight dirty. He just didn't hold back.
He did.
No.
Tommy Gunn.
I've seen that film backwards. When Tommy Gunn got in the ring, he had to fight. He was sparring. When you spar in a fight, you're still all about technique. It's about stamina. It's not about knocking the other guy out. Tommy Gunn got in and started throwing full-on heavy punches. He wasn't fighting dirty. He was too much. So he knocked him down. They was like, whoa, what are you doing? He goes, I just wanted to show you to see what I had. If he started cheating, Rocky, he knew Rocky wouldn't take him if he was fighting dirty. He just wanted to show Rocky how strong I am. Look what I can do. The only time he fought dirty was at the end against Rocky on the street. And they both were just as bad as each other. So there was and if you could get technical, you could say it was Rocky 3, where Mr. T did push Mike, is it Mickey and kill? He didn't mean to. It was just in the heat of the moment. So the way I look at it is with Damien, he had a lot. He had a lot to lose, a lot to gain. He was angry, bitter, and all these kind of things. Maybe a little bit jealous. He didn't need to fight dirty. Now, that's fine. Second of all, that shit with Ivan Drago, where his friend set his friend up to hurt Ivan Drago. Did you see that? Do you remember Ivan Drago got hurt?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was Damien who set it up. And I was like,
to set it up.
You got a friend from prison to make sure that happened in case you got the chance, because that could have happened and he might not have got the chance to do it, So I think the film, what was trying to do was make it look like, look, he's a real bad guy. He's a bad guy. We must dislike him. We must dislike him. Where I was like, no, because like Creed 2, we hated Drago, but we see a side to him where we felt like, he had a lot to lose because of Russia and they were kicking him out and all kinds of things. And on this, you could have said, look, he's a bad bastard, but he has a lot to lose. And when he fights, he's fighting to win, not to fight dirty and Adonis. Then so he's the good guy and this guy's the villain. Then I thought that was all a bit silly, and I didn't like that. And then when we were live and he calls in, hey, he goes, right, that's it. I'm going to fight you now. I was like, oh. So look,
I mean, that's right. I mean, and Michael B, Creed was just like, not right now. Not you don't supposed to do that on national TV, but he didn't care because he had all this momentum. It's like, okay, I whooped this guy. I beat the champ. Now I'm the champ. Now I want to beat the champ. So then, I mean, Michael, he was like, yo, let's don't do it on TV. But you want to keep going, I'm going to call you out. Like, all right, then you call me a fraud and everything. Then, we can go at it one-on-one. Let's go.
It just came across like silly. Now, all I'm saying is, if you took out the fact that he was fighting dirty, and if you took out the fact that he arranged that for Drago, right, you would have seen a man who has lost so much and he's bitter and he's angry. He's enough character to be a villain already, or you could get behind him. But I felt like the film was all of a sudden shoehorn these little daytime sitcom kind of dramatic kind of things you would see on Days of Our Lives where, he's dirty. He set it up.
If you actually know fighting and everything, we knew that when he was going to come out, he was going to be dirty because he had all this anger, all this stuff.
That's fine.
He was
overly dirty and then carrying weapons. Also,
thought that Michael B. Jordan was going to get.
See you talking. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but
No, you good.
I was going to say was right. So another thing, and it's more of a nitpick, right? Do you know throughout the film it tells the story of what happened when they were young? It didn't show it all in one. It kept showing bits and pieces, right? And it was like there was going to be some big reveal, but there wasn't a big reveal. I would have been preferred if they just showed it all at the beginning. Just showed the whole what happened at the beginning, because we kind of got the gist. You didn't keep showing us bits and pieces, all that. So for me, as I said, and another thing, the fight. What did you think of that? His creative idea of doing
I
that
thought that
last
was
fight.
dope.
You
Wait a
know,
minute,
where
I said
it
dope.
went black.
So,
Yeah.
Derek, so you didn't like how, like, so that fight, that whole fight sequence, how the way Michael B. Jordan created that between Adonis and
sure.
Damon, you didn't like that fight.
No,
You didn't like that.
I'm not sure. I'd have to watch it again. I just know it took me back for a second. I was like, "What's going on?"
So
Yeah,
okay, I'll remind you. When they was
I'm not
fighting,
sure.
basically when they was in the ring, and then
Yeah.
like basically
No. I do remember. I'm just saying is I need to watch it again because I wasn't sure how I felt when I was watching it. At first I didn't like it, and I wasn't sure, is it really a cool style, or is it, because I don't know. I have to watch it again to make up my mind. But I will say that I wasn't overly keen on it, and I will say that towards the end I wasn't invested in any of the two who care. I didn't really care. I wish they didn't do those little things. Now I know I'm sounding like I hate this film. I didn't. I thought it was good. There's a lot of good things about it. Let me tell you what I thought was good. I like the fact that Adonis is now a boxing promoter. He's moved along because he's all business now. He's all about the money. He's business.
Yeah.
He's clever. Yeah. And if you watch the first Rocky, 1 or 2, his dad was actually, along with the greatest champion of the world, he also was a promoter and a fighter. So I liked what they did there. The interaction with his family was pretty decent. The chemistry between Michael B. Jordan and Jonathan Majors was decent. And also, I was going to say is that the acting all round, like, I cannot find one problem. That it's really good acting. None of them were shit. They all brought the A game, and that's all I'm saying. This film was a good film, and I'll watch it again, and I will say, yeah, it's a good film. I'm just bringing up the few little things that I wish they hadn't done that would have made it more solid. I would think I would have liked it more than the second one, but it's just me. It's just my opinion. Like, it's just how I felt when I was watching it, and I was like, it just felt like, oh, he's a good character. Yeah, he's angry, and then you're like, oh, now you want me to hate him. Now you trying to make me hate. Oh, he's really dirty. You know, it's like,
But it's almost like if you
that would have been stopped, and he'd have been
like,
kicked out.
But it's like this though, Derek. Like, if you think about it, there's always going to be, like, honestly, I think where the way that Michael B. Jordan was incorporating that scene is like you'll have that friend somewhere, somehow, that's always going to want something that you got. That if you feel like you're on top, they're gonna feel like you're gonna be like
Never.
you.
Never.
But I'm just saying is this, and no, like I said, no, me and Darrell, no, we bros, we bros for life. I'm just saying is this.
That's
I'm saying
what Damien
this
said.
This movie, I'm just saying is that in this movie, Damon hit rock bottom because, one, he pulled a gun out, and then towards like the end of the movie, we finally seen that, okay, Adonis got away after he like beat that dude up.
Yeah.
Apparently, like, who allegedly was like pretty much putting hands on him and Damon. Now, and he did, because like he in the moment he got scared and he was like, okay, he said, all right, I'm gonna take off running. I can see where Damon's coming from because he's like, you left me and everything. He said, I said, I'm the one that got caught for you.
I know, but this is where the problems. Sorry, I don't mean. But at the end of the film, after the fight, this is spoilers, so we're allowed to say. At the end, when they sat down together, he told him, "None of this was on you. It was all me." And I'm like,
Absolutely.
so all of a sudden now you're okay. So all that dirty shit you did before and all that blaming, now you was like, no, not really.
Because
If
he's the champ of the world.
He kind of did, because you think about it. Just think about it. How would it have been if Adonis wouldn't have punched that man in the face? None of them would have probably been in that situation today. Think about it.
No.
But it did.
But if a man's carrying a gun, he's looking for trouble at some point. If you get what I'm saying, I'm not saying like
no, not really, not really.
You don't think so? If a man's going around, a young teenager walking around with a gun, he's got a gun. He's not going to end up with some
I
kind
can
of
see where you're coming from. I can definitely see where you're coming from with that one. But usually, I mean, you're in Compton, Los Angeles. It's something to protect yourself.
Yeah, I agree. No, of course. Yeah, without a doubt. I'm just saying, you have a gun. You know, and also, didn't he have a gun later on?
No.
Or did he take it off someone? He took it off someone, didn't he? Do you remember when Adonis went to see him and asked him what was he doing? Why is he doing this on
his friend? Yeah, his friend, Damien's friend had the gun. And
so he's still surrounding himself in that situation where he doesn't need to be. What I'm just saying is, look, I agree. Look, you're in Compton and people are going to shoot you. You've got to shoot them.
Absolutely.
I get it. I do. But if you do go out with a gun, you have to be prepared. If you're going to use it, you could end up in prison. And he took it out. Now, he, being a boxer, could have easily beat the shit out of the other two guys, but he chose to pull a gun. Look, we're not there. We're not in that situation. I've done some stupid shit too myself, right? I get it. So what I'm saying is that he had a lot of reasons to be angry, bitter, and jealous. Absolutely. And they should have just used that instead of making, oh no, but he's also dirty. Because does it look like, you see how he looks and how he can fight, does it look like he needs to be dirty? Nope. He looked like he can fight.
The thing is, though,
here's what I get.
Go ahead.
I think Damien was scared of him. I think Damien was scared of Adonis. He was scared of him. You could tell. You could tell.
I thought it was the other way around.
No, he wasn't scared of him. I mean, when they was to the beach, and when Michael B. Jordan looked at him, you could tell that he was backing up a little bit.
I don't think he was nervous at all.
I think he was a little bit nervous.
No, I think he was reckless. I think he's. But look,
I think he was reckless. I think he was reckless too, Darrell.
Yeah, he was reckless. He did stupid
things. Because you think about it, he was celebrating and all stuff, and he was just looking at.
But when he said, when Michael B. said, "Are you threatening me?" Then that's when he got that look, and he backed up a little bit. Come on, you saw it.
I don't remember that.
But then again, though, Darrell, what did he do? He punched him in the face.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. Here's what I thought.
I don't think he's scared at all. I think he was actually overly confident. Too confident.
I thought Michael B. Jordan was going to lose the fight. I thought Damien was going to be
the
champion.
No.
I'm just saying, if they could have made it, I mean, it was a great movie. I loved it. But I thought it'd probably been a twist. Be like, okay, he knocked him out. Period.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be like that.
I thought there was going to be two fights, like the last one. One he'd lose, the second he'd come back. They do that, but you know what they didn't. You have to remember is that Michael B. Jordan is directing it.
Absolutely.
So I suppose he's timing on front of the camera. He's got to try and do both, I suppose. But I'll be honest with you, as a director, his first movie, wow. Seriously, that was his first movie. Wow, that's all I can say. Like that, if he never makes another movie again in his life, he can say, "I made a real." And look, it ain't the best of the Rocky, but that's a high bar anyway. Yeah, this film is better than most fucking films, most fighting films. In fact, it just wasn't my favorite of all of them, but still really, really good. What makes it good for me was that I do like Adonis. I did like Damien. I like Tessa Thompson. I like them all. And that's what it is I believe them. It's just on this film, I wasn't as invested in both of them as much as I wanted to be as I was in the last two. Now, if Rocky was in it, that wouldn't have changed. The film would have still been this way for me, Going about mentioning, I remember he was saying, I think at one point he said, didn't Apollo give an underdog Rocky a shot at the title? And what was the other time they mentioned him? I can't remember. What was the other thing?
I'm talking about when it was in his house, when they started talking where he was looking at the trophies.
Yeah, what did he say?
He said, I'm coming for it. Oh, he said, I guess you don't understand me. He said, I want to come for everything. Yeah. I want to be the champion of everything. Yeah. And he was like, I can't do that. Like, I can't just give you.
No, I mean, like, what did he say? What was Rocky? How was Rocky mentioned? I only remember the one little thing. What else happened?
When they
I
was
have to
sitting,
watch it again.
I know what scene he's talking about. It was a scene where he was sitting down talking to that Hispanic guy and his mom, and they was talking about promoting. He said that he said the same thing how with Apollo Creed, he made Rocky the underdog and all stuff.
Yeah.
That's
what I
There's
was
always
saying,
an
yeah.
underdog.
That was the scene he was talking about. That's the scene.
Yeah, I just said that. That's what I was saying. The one thing I remember is that he was talking about Apollo giving Rocky an underdog. But did you say he was mentioned again? You said he was mentioned twice.
He was mentioned. He was mentioned. I think.
I don't remember. It was only that one
I know
time.
he was mentioned that time, but I know he was mentioned. I think another time. I think like towards. Because I remember he was mentioned twice in the movie. Rocky was mentioned twice.
I just remember once.
But
maybe.
I want to watch
this again. Like I'm only asking because I just can't remember. I'm not trying to have a go or say it was shit without Rocky, because it was the way with Rocky or not. This film for me would have been the same. Look, Sylvester Stallone makes everything better. That's nothing. But those problems would have still been there for me. I reckon if they do a 4, which I reckon it will, depending on how well this does, I reckon everything will be all rekindled and fixed up, and Rocky will be in the next one. But we'll see.
Oh, right.
But for now, as I say, like, look,
you know what I think? You know what I think is because think about this. Where did this movie, this important movie, where did this movie take place at?
LA.
Exactly. So Apollo Creed's from LA. So therefore, Adonis is from LA. All of his problems is in LA. Rocky's still in Philly.
Yes, but there was a time when he was struggling with what to do with the situation.
Yeah.
He could have called Rocky and hey, yo, what's up? You know? And he's like, hey, Rocky, this is happening. Hey, you know what I would do? I would go and that's what I would. But you could have had all that, yeah. You could have had him on the phone or say like, hey, Rocky, you know, shit, how are you over there? I'm seeing my grandchild. Oh no, I'm gonna fight. And then he'd be like, hey, Rocky, I don't understand what you're saying, but I love you, man. Thank you very much. Anyway, as to say, look, he could have had him.
I would have been dope if he did call. And
you could have said, look, Rocky, man, shit's going down, and you know, what have you been in this situation? What should I do? You know, and he would have said, yeah, that time when I had Tommy Gunn, he goes, I put everything aside. And then he wanted to take it would try and take me down. Like, you know, I loved him. It broke my heart. And, you know, but at the end, I had to stick with my family and do what was right and take down Tommy Gunn.
He could have, honestly, I think they could have incorporated that scene. But then again, like I said, just like everybody else, I just think that, just like you said, that he wasn't asked. But there was another interview where he said that there was a writer on this project that was basically a former writer of his Rocky movies and all stuff.
Oh no, but Stallone wrote all the Rocky movies.
Yeah, I know. But one of the main guys was on the Creed movie, and basically,
all right. I think what you're getting confused with. There's a guy who owns the rights to Rocky. You know, MGM.
Yeah,
they own the rights to Rocky, and with the last few months just before Creed. Because when he was making Rocky, the only way they'd let him make it is if he gave them the rights. And he had no money. He was nothing. So he said, okay. Obviously, they've made loads of money over the year. And so has he. But he said recently he would like to have something for his children, to have some kind of legacy, some percentage of his own franchise. But the guy at MGM went, no. Why should I? You gave it to me. I owned it. I'm not giving you nothing. Plus, Stallone made plenty of money from Rocky anyway. It's just he's a bit angry with this one guy. I think it's one guy who will not give him nothing for his children. That's what he's angry about. It's one guy owns the rights. He owns the rights to Rocky, and he won't give Stallone any percentage because he wants to leave some for his daughters when they're older. Say like, you know, we owned the. He goes, I made it, but. He's angry with it, but it's not even that. He's still a bit angry with Michael B. Jordan because he felt like shit. He's angry with Drago, or what's his name?
I think his name is Lundgren. I think his name is
No, Dolph Lundgren. He had an argument with Dolph Lundgren a few months ago. because they came to Dolph and said, "Do you want to do a spin-off?" And he went, "Yeah, sure."
Yeah,
So he went on social media to say, "Yeah, we're doing a spin-off." And then Rocky rang him up and said, "Hey, you're doing a spin-off of Drago, of my franchise?" And he went, "Yeah." And he goes, "Well, nobody told me or asked me. Why didn't you call me? I thought we were friends." And he went, "I actually thought you knew. I did. I really thought you knew. So because of that, he's not doing it and all that." But Stallone's a bit pissed off at the moment. You know what old people are like. But saying that, old people, you've seen how hench Rocky is still. I wouldn't call him old to his face. But as I say, look, he wasn't in this movie. And again, it wouldn't have changed the fact that he was. I still like this movie. I'm not going to knock it. I've just said what I had to say. What I thought could have made it better for me because I liked Damien's character and I just didn't feel like you needed to make him more of a shit bad guy because it didn't look like he needed to fight dirty. He looked like he could beat the shit out of anyone without any problems, you know? So I like that.
But I think he had all that, honestly, but the thing is, though, Derek, you make a character that, like, one who's been locked away 18 years and basically wanted pretty much to be a champion.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
you didn't need him to make him dirty. He would just fight.
I know, but I got you. But I'm just saying is this. He didn't need to fight dirty. But the thing is, though, he's like, I'm older. Keyword, I'm older. I want my time now. I want my time now. So I want to be a champion. So he's like, when he says them words, I'm coming for everything. That means saying that I don't give a freak. Anybody's in my way. I'm coming. I don't know how the way I'm gonna get it. I'm coming for everything. So that's basically what he's saying is if I gotta fight dirty,
Right. No, I get what you're saying, but what I'm saying is, all right, so when you're a small time boxer and you fight dirty, that's fine. When you get into the professional leagues, there is no tolerance for that. He wouldn't last 2 minutes. So the referee would have stopped that within the first couple of hits, but he didn't. And then like do it again later on. I'm like, no, you're in the big leagues now. There's no way that'll be tolerated. And I felt like, I know what you're saying, Justin. I just felt like the film was saying, look how bad he is. Oh, he's real bad. You must hate him. He has to be the bad guy. When you already knew he was, you already felt that. And you might have kind of understood him a bit more. And that shit with Drago setting him up and all that. Yeah, setting him up and all that shit. I was like, I didn't like that.
I'm gonna tell you this.
I like the chemistry between him and Drago. They were still friends after they boxed.
Yeah.
I like the chemistry of that.
After his dad killed his dad.
I'm gonna ask you this, Derek. I'm gonna ask you this, Derek, because I told Darrell before we went to go see the movie. I'm gonna ask you a question. Was there any point in your mind that you thought that Damien and Adonis was brothers, actual brothers?
No, I didn't.
And I'm gonna tell you the reason why.
Well, it's a good idea to. Now that you brought it up, it could have been a reason. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this because honestly, the way that they told this story, part of me was going back to Creed 1. Remember in Creed 1 when Adonis said that Apollo had an affair with my mother?
Yeah.
Apollo Creed had a couple kids in the Rocky movie, right? In the first and second Rocky movie, right?
Yeah.
So a part of me was thinking, did Apollo Creed cheat on his wife and had a baby with somebody else? And honestly, I thought that could have been Damon. And then honestly, and part of the movie, even Darrell, you said this too, Darrell. You was like, Justin, you may be right. Why did she have them letters? And that's when and then I was like, okay.
The reason why she had those letters is because she didn't want her son to be distracted. Because they was best friends. And you see how best
and she knew he was a bad influence.
He was a bad influence. But you still had. That's the reason why mothers do that to protect their kids, to protect their son, because they want to be put on a road.
So
and that one person.
Why is Justin's mum let him talk to you then?
Because his mom loves me, actually.
Yeah. My mom loves Darrell. My mom loves me.
I just thought like she might be. You're a bad.
His mom loves me too.
He's a bad influence, that boy. I know him.
Darrell, what your mom call me?
Not a
her the son. Yep.
My mom was going to say was not a bad influence. Nope.
But I was going to. You know what? as I say, like, look, you've brought up a good point there about. I didn't think of it, but now that you brought it up, I could have kind of seen that could have happened somehow if they could have done it.
Because
But there is another way to look at it. It would have been a bad legacy for Apollo Creed to have left behind, really, to have
exactly. Derek, that's the reason why, bro. Think about it. Because if you go back and you watch Creed 1, he said, because he told Rocky, he said that I'm Apollo Creed. He said I'm Apollo Creed's son. He said, I what? He said, I don't believe all this. He said, you don't believe? He said, go ask Mary. He said, Mary, his wife. He said, yeah, Apollo had an affair with my mom. So therefore, that made me think in my mind that Apollo Creed, honestly, there could probably been something that we didn't know about Apollo Creed too. Because think about it.
That'd be dope if they did make one.
Some professional athletes, I know, but some professional athletes,
I think you would have made Apollo Creed look pretty bad.
Yeah, it probably could, because you got
no, not Adonis. Apollo, his dad.
Apollo, yes.
It would have made him look like a piece of shit, really, and his legacy, because we love Apollo Creed. I do, anyway. And it would have made him just look like a bit of an arsehole. He's got a son in prison and another son he didn't know.
Well, think about it. Well, think about this. Think about in Rocky IV, Derek, when Rocky was trying to tell him that, he said, Apollo, we can't be doing this, man. He said, we're turning to normal people. He said, we're changing. He said, I don't want to change, Stallion. He said, I don't want to change. I like who I am. He said, I like who you are too. But he said, but Paul, we can't go out there. He said, we're turning to normal people. He said, no, maybe you think you're changing, Stallion. I was like,
you said it's all right for you. You're still on top.
See, that right there made me think. I was like, Apollo, a part of Apollo, we may not have gotten,
I know what you're saying, and it's a good point, and it could have been done in a good way, but I'm just a bit worried that maybe it could have made Apollo. I know what you're saying. There's more to him, but it would have made him look like he was a piece of shit, really. I mean, he was a good friend, bad husband, bad father. I don't know.
You heard Adonis's mom say, she said that, Apollo, why did you abandon me? That hit me hard, bro. I almost about to shed a tear, bro. She said, Apollo, why you abandoned me? But she said, Adonis saved me. Bro,
she said, Adonis made me forgive you.
And instead Adonis made me forgive you.
But do you remember Adonis saying that Damien was there when you weren't? And he goes, and when I came into this house, those other two children, meaning Apollo's other children, were never nice to me. They treated me like shit. They were never nice to me. So, but look, we could go on all day. Bottom line is, for those who are still watching this, right, it was a really good movie. I'm sure you watched it yourself, and there's the spoilers. I don't know. It was a good movie. It just wasn't the greatest of all movies, but it's a hell of a lot better than a lot of other boxing movies. In fact, it's ranked pretty high. I mean, that's what I think anyway. But look, I'm not going to go on too much. We're going on for nearly 40 minutes now. And I enjoyed talking with you two again as normal. Yeah. And now I'm just going to say, look, for anyone who's watching, you want to see D&J movie reviews, jump over. I'm going to put a link in below. Make sure you check out this. This is going up on their video anyway. And for those who are watching their video, come and see mine. Yeah.
Hit up my boy Movie Mash.
Yeah. I'm a smaller channel. I'm not big Hollywood boys like these two. Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
We ain't there yet, homie.
I'm just saying, look, for everyone's watching, thanks for watching this video. And if you have any thoughts on what we said, do you agree with me? Do you agree with what Justin and Darrell said about they could have been brothers is a good idea? Or do you think Apollo's legacy would have been ruined? Do you also think that I was right about what I was saying about the shoehorned in? Or maybe you thought that was the best part of the film? Let us know in the comments below, and make sure you subscribe, right? Do it. Now, for now. And until next time, I'll see you guys later, and I'll give you a shout later, and I'll send you this video. All right.
All right. Appreciate it.
And you don't want to say any more.
Again, follow us on D&J Movie Reviews, and definitely hit up my boy Movie Mash. He is great. We get everything from him. He's the one who actually made us do this. And
I'm now sorry I did.
He's stupid. He does everything. So y'all hit him up, and that's it. Holla at us.
All right. See y'all.
Peace.
Bye.